just giving you guys like a very packaged of what that looks like so you can really get noticed, really get hired, and actually get a job this 2021. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goal is at the end of this video is to show you guys how you can get hired faster this 2021. Now if this is your guys' first time on my channel, my name is Lai Lacaba. I'm the virtual ate. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old and now run an outsourcing company in the Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home, so make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now first of all, Happy New Year guys! I'm so excited to actually film. This is my first time actually filming since I filmed all of my December videos with my red hair, and now I have this. Now I've been looking forward to recording this video because it's gonna be a little bit back to basics, kind of like what I did earlier last year where I really went how to work from home in 2020. Now this is going to be a few hacks that I have taught other students of mine in the Work Anywhere Challenge, and also just a few of you guys who leave your comments down below. I give you a little bit of a tip. So I've now gathered all of the things that I have given as advice. I've gathered all of the things that I've also given as suggestions for people who apply for my agency, and just giving you guys like a very packaged of what that looks like so you can really get noticed, really get hired, and actually get a job this 2021. So one of the first things that you guys need to do is get back to basics. Kind of really keep in mind that the two things that the recruiter always asks for is your resume and your application letter. Now you actually want to go back and check your resume. Try to make sure to double check your spelling, your experiences, your skills, and also maybe add your soft skills. Now this is a little bit of a hack for you guys, but a lot of employers really need people who can be flexible, who can learn really fast. Make sure that it's true, of course. Adding those words into your resume will help you a lot. Also try to make sure that you take out anything else that isn't important or needed in your resume. Like your employers don't really need to know that you won a beauty pageant in high school. They don't really need to know where you went to elementary. Mostly it's just going to be high school or college, or if you even went and got a master's, it's just going to be college and your master's. So make sure to not clutter your resume and just keep it all into one page. Now the next basics that you're going to go through is your application letter. Really think about, look at it from a different point of view. Let's say act out like you're the recruiter and you're receiving that application letter. Double check for grammar errors, double check for spelling errors, and also as much as possible try to customize your application letter to the recruiter. Research the company that you're applying for. If you can find who you're sending that email to, who the actual like manager is, so you can address the application letter to them. And you're also going to be researching their company values, their vision, and try to see if you can really align yourself to them, so then you can add that into your application letter. That adds a little bit of an umph if the employer or the recruiter sees that you put in the extra effort to actually look them up. The next thing that I'm going to be adding into the basics, and I've taught this in a lot of other videos, is make sure that you have some sort of tracker. Now, I have my own tracker that you guys can grab below in the description box, but basically a tracker is a way that you're going to, anytime that you're going to apply for a job, you make sure that you track who it was, what company, who you contacted. That way it's going to be easier for you to follow up later. It's also going to be easier for you to actually see how people react to your resume and application letter. So you can see how effective it is, if you need to tweak something, if you need to update something. You can also add notes of how you felt about the company. So then later on, if you do want to start applying for jobs again, you can see already your previous list of like, oh, I already applied for that company. I really like talking to them. I was just accepted, so I want to try again. The next thing that you guys can do to get hired faster in 2021 is do your research. I've said this so many times in the channel, but Google is your best friend. You literally have a supercomputer on your phone. If you guys have been on my channel, you guys know there's a plenty of jobs that you can do with just your phone even. So as much as possible, if you want to get hired faster, research the heck out of the company that you're trying to apply for. But it's not only that. Researching the company's values, the vision, look at what they post, look at what their employees post, look at what resonates with you, so you can put that again in your application letter. You can put that forth even when you're getting interviewed. The next thing that you want to research is research the job position as much as possible as well. If you're trying to become a graphic artist, try to find as many YouTube videos as you can, learning about the job, what it does. You can even go specific to an industry. So what a graphic artist does in the book publishing industry is so much different if they're working in a software industry, because then they're probably designing like the face of the app versus if you're designing a face of a book. So really keep that in mind. Try and research the job position that you are after, and you can even research every time that you apply for a different job. You can even try and look, maybe you're replacing someone in that company, maybe someone got promoted or someone left and they need to fill that position. Try to look at what they post, what they put up, so you can have a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of a sneak peek, if you may, into that job position. And another bonus tip for you guys is try to find day in my life videos of that job position. If you can find even day in my life in that company, the better, because again, you get to have that little sneak peek, so you have a little bit of just armed knowledge when you get to the interview portion of how you're going to go back and forth, especially if they ask a question, why do you want to work here? And lastly, try to research your niche as much as possible, the niche or your industry that you're trying to work for. Try to see from your point of view, now that you have like some expertise, even if you don't have a lot of experience yet, what are the problems that you're solving for this niche? Try to actually really figure out what is it that you are going to get hired for. So as an example, if you're a proofreader, of course, the problem that you're solving is going to be making sure that whatever they publish out there, whatever they put out into the world is going to be grammar error free. If you're going to be an executive assistant, for example, your job is literally to manage your boss, making sure that they get on the right track. So it's going to be different each niche or industry. For example, if you're an executive assistant for someone who is an author, a lot of what you're going to be doing is making sure that you're taking care of their fans, is making sure that their books get marketed right, is making sure that the production process of that whole book gets done. Versus if you are an executive assistant for someone who runs multiple companies, for example, your job is to make sure that they are connected still with their employees, they don't miss birthdays or they don't miss any connections with other clients as well. So again, it's going to be different each niche. That's why you really want to look into, okay, what does my job position solve as a problem for them? The next thing that you're going to want to do if you want to get hired fast this 2021 is to practice. Now, practice means that you are going to learn your craft, grow your craft. Whatever it is that you chose as a job position, you are going to want to practice as much as you can doing it. Even if you're not hired at all, you could even do work for free if you really wanted to, because at least you can add something into your resume as well. But my point of this is, if you're a graphic artist, try to at least once a day create some sort of graphic. If you're a writer, at least twice a week, create an article. Try to find your voice, what it is that you bring into the world, so that it's easier for you to sell yourself. If you are someone who wants to be a proofreader, maybe try finding again work for free where you get to proofread someone's work, so you can really prepare yourself for when you get an actual job. Also, as a bonus, you get to add things into your portfolio every time that you do practice or do something else. And of course, if you guys want a guide on how to build your digital portfolio, make sure to check out this video right here. But basically, it's making sure that you really know what it is that you're doing, rather than you get hired and you're like, what am I supposed to do? The next thing that you're going to do, and this is going to be a big one that a lot of people know but they don't actually do, which is to follow up. Follow the heck up when it comes to applying for jobs. And I'm saying this as a recruiter, as someone who has hired people before, as someone who's hired at least 10 people this year, as someone who's seen so many application letters. I am always impressed by the people who follow up on their application, because it shows me that, one, they track their application, they know who they apply to. Two, they're really interested in the job. And three, they're someone I can rely on to bug me. And that sounds weird, but as an employer, I love being reminded of things. If I said something and I didn't actually get it done, I love being able to trust that if something is wrong, they are going to be brave enough to tell me that something is wrong. So try to exercise that muscle of following up, of making sure that they get back to you, whether that's with a rejection or an acceptance. At least you get to move on either way. I know it's a little bit scary to send out that follow-up and maybe get rejected, but at least, again, you get to move forward rather than wondering why it was that you didn't hear back at all. Another thing that you can do as you follow up is ask for feedback. If you did get rejected, if you did do an interview even, ask for feedback at the end. That way you know how to move forward, whether or not you get the job. I cannot tell you guys how many people have moved forward in my recruitment process just because they followed up or because they asked for feedback. It's such a powerful combo. You're showing your potential employer that you're the type of person who, again, is brave enough to speak up, and you're also someone who asks for feedback. You always constantly constantly want to grow. The next way that you can get hired faster this 2021 is to show up and show off. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of the time we can be a little bit shy showing off what we actually do. I remember when I first started putting out these YouTube videos, I was a little bit shy posting it on my Facebook, and now I post it everywhere, like literally like Facebook groups that I'm on my page, on my account. I ask my friends to share it. And the reason why is you need to show people what you can do and show off. Now, I know it's a little bit cringy. Like I said, I went through that myself. But if you don't show up and you don't show off for yourself, no one probably will, especially if you are an unknown. Again, I remember back when my YouTube channel was just 1,000 subscribers, I would be the only one sharing my content. And now I have other students, I have other people who I see share my post. And it was because I showed up. So if you are a graphic artist, if you are a writer, if you are a transcriptionist, whatever job that you are in, talk about it. Talk about it on social media. Post articles. If you're a writer, post articles about how it is to be a writer, how to write. If you're a graphic artist, create graphics that you like to create. If you're not employed yet, you can play around, you can experiment and post it on social media and see who respond. Honestly, for most of my life, I've only really applied to 3 jobs. The rest were all referrals. And that is because I keep showing up and showing off. Now, of course, there is a boundary of really like showing off too much. But when you're a beginner, when you're someone who's trying out, this is something that I really recommend. Just so, again, your network also gets wind of what you do and you get that referral started coming in. Which then brings me to the next point, which is make new friends or make new connections. So what I mean by this is as you go into the industry, if you're someone with no experience at all, and most especially if you do have experience, one of the best ways that you can get hired faster is making new connections. Now, what I mean by this is try to attend like online conferences, since of course we can't attend any real ones right now. Try to find groups, try to find Discord groups that you can join so you can learn from different people. You can join Reddit, you can join a lot of different Facebook groups, and try to really make connections that way. Look at what people post. Try to help out if someone is asking for advice and you can actually give good advice. Try to see how you can contribute to different people so you can then send them a message later on. You can then create that connection back and forth, because again, you don't know who knows who. So the person that you might be reaching out to might be a friend of a business owner, or might be a friend of a recruiter, or they might be a recruiter or business owner themselves. So this is really part of, again, showing up and showing off is then making new connections, make new friends, find different ways that you can network with people, even though we're doing it all digitally right now. Now, last year, I did that myself by doing a lot of virtual ate interviews. Now, I interviewed a lot of people, a lot of experts in their field, just so I myself can know more about how others have been able to work online, so then I could teach that to my students. So make new connections, find experts in your industry maybe even, and befriend them. Really get out of your shell so you can learn more from other people. And again, you never know who knows who. Another big way that you can get hired faster this 2021 is to customize. Now, what I mean by customize is basically, the long story short of that is just don't send mass emails. But the longer version of that is things that I've already mentioned throughout this video. It's to research the company, research the person that you're talking to, and making sure that on your application letter, even your resume is going to be customized for that company, for the person that you're going to be applying for. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of work. That's why I really recommend that you create your resume on Canva. That way you are able to really customize and change out just a few words, change out maybe your intro sentence, how you introduce yourself specifically for this company, especially if it's a company that you really want to be hired for. There's honestly a certain magical thing that I, as a recruiter, feel when I see a resume that it actually is like the last name and then the company name. So that's the file name that they submit their resume in. So for me, it's going to be so much easier for me to know who it is and which company they're trying to apply for, or sometimes even put the job position that they're trying to apply for. Keep in mind that you're probably not the only person applying for this job. So as much as possible, if you can stand out in that way, in some way, the better it is for your chances. And again, you can also try customizing your application letter so it really resonates to what the company talks about, what their vision is, what their goal is. And even on your interview, you can also customize the way that you also talk and answer questions based on their values. You can lean into if they say that one of their values is resilience, for example, try to give examples of you showing your resilience, of you finding ways to do things even when there was a hardship. And this might sound a little bit like cheating, but it's actually a way that you can show your potential employers that you take initiative, that you're someone who looks up things. Now, if you guys are going to take action on any of these, make sure to comment them below and I'll feature you guys in the next video. Now, today's featured comment comes from my Setting Your 2021 Goals video, which is from Rem, who already set his theme for 2021 to be Big Bang, which is amazing, Rem. Thank you so much for leaving a comment in that video. And of course, if you guys haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. And you guys can check out these other 2 videos right here to really jumpstart your career this 2021. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!